right, so we are going to talk about how to create a bow like this, and then of course how to chain multiple bows like this together to create a bow garland. So first step, let's recreate this bow. All right, so in terms of supplies, most importantly, you're gonna need yarn. I'm using green, red, and white. So I have 3 balls of yarn that I'm using. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. I'm just using the size of hook that my yarn label recommends. I have a darning needle here for weaving in ends, and then of course I have scissors. And that's really all you need in terms of supplies. All right, so let's make our bow. I have my yarn tail here. I'm gonna make a slip knot, and if you ever need a refresher on slip knots, chaining, we're doing half double crochets here. So I have a link, I'll put it here and in the description box of how to do some of the basics for you there. So we have our slip knot, and what we're gonna do is chain 100. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, 1, 2, and just a reminder, if you want to chain, you're gonna yarn over, pull through, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'll meet you back here when we have 100. All right, so I have my chain of 100. It is quite long. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna chain 2 for my turning chain. So I'm gonna chain 2 more. And I'm not going to be stitching into those. I'm going to be skipping those, and I'm going to do a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and doing a half double crochet. And I'm going to continue to do half double crochets until the end of my foundation chain here. So I will meet you back when we have 100 half double crochets all along this chain here. All right, so I am doing my last half double crochet here, and we have a full row of 100 half double crochets. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have some turning chains again, just like at the beginning of this row, and we're gonna chain 2 and turn our work. And what we're gonna do here is half double crochet, but in the back loop only. And so it's the exact same thing, you're half double crocheting, but instead of going through this gap right here, where you're picking up both the front and the back loops here, you're gonna go right through the middle so that you only pick up that back loop. So when you do this, there should be 1 loop instead of when you do this, there's 2. So again, I'm yarning over, I'm putting it in just the back loop and doing a half double crochet like normal. Oops, there we go. And we're doing that for the entire row, and I will meet you back here once we have 100 half double crochets in the back loop only. All right, I am on my last back loop only half double crochet, and I am done. Now I'm just gonna fasten off. So you can do that any way you want. The way I do it is I chain 1 more, I grab my scissors and make a snip, and then I pull through. All right, and now we have this long noodle of yarn. So let's talk about weaving in ends. All right, so I have my darning needle or my tapestry needle for weaving in ends. Because we did back loop only, you can see that the side that was just facing us kind of has this like ridge almost, right? And then this side is gonna be the front side, and there isn't a ridge. So when weaving in ends, we wanna weave the ends in on the side with a ridge because that is the back side of our ribbon. So let me grab my tapestry needle, and I'm gonna put one of my tails through it, and then we're grabbing the side with the ridge, and I'm just gonna put my ends in. It's kind of being difficult, but just weaving in my ends. Doesn't have to be too secure. We're not wearing these, so we just need to make sure the ends are hidden, and that's about it. So once I have weaved those in, I'm gonna grab my scissors and snip, give it a tug, and there we go. That is our ends weaved in, and I'm gonna do the exact same on the other side as well. So I have all my ends weaved in. Now we're folding the bow. So what we're gonna do is kind of grab around the middle of our section, and we're looking for the back side, and that's gonna be on the inside of our bow. So we're kind of making a little, I guess circle, I don't know what to call it, but that's gonna be like this. So if we flip it down like this, we're seeing the front side, and then like this, it's the inside or the back side. And then we're taking this leg and folding it here, and we're doing the same with this leg. So it's kind of, well, it's starting to take the shape of a bow, and we're gonna make it somewhat even, and we're gonna just pinch with our fingers here, and we can really see the bow shape now take form. All right, so if we pinch our yarn, you wanna just make sure if you flip it up, you're looking at the front side still, and then here, the way your tails lay, you should also be looking at the front side. So you can kind of wiggle it around, make sure it's somewhat even. All right, here we go. And pinch there. And I want my bows to be a little bigger. That looks good to me. So from here, we're gonna grab some yarn from our yarn ball. I am gonna grab, let me show you. This is doubled. You really don't need much. I'm just being conservative here. And we're gonna wrap it around the middle there. So I'm going to just lift this up gently, sneak this back, hold this in place while I wrap, and I'm gonna wrap probably 3 to 4 times around to make sure it's really secure. So I'm gonna grab my yarn here with the yarn that I just snipped, and I'm gonna just 1, 2, 3. You wanna make sure it's all together, and you wanna give it a tug as well. So take both strands here, give them a pull, and again, you should be able to see that bow shape take form. So I need to pull a little tighter, pull both. That looks pretty good to me. All right, so then what I'm gonna do is just tie a knot in the back. Like I said, I cut way too much yarn, but that is fine. So I'm gonna tie a knot and make sure it's really tight. And because I like to be safe, I'm gonna tie another knot as well. I'm gonna cut all this excess yarn too. And here we go. So we have, this is the back of our bow, right? We have our 2 little ends here. We have the front of the bow, which imagine these 2 ends we're gonna weave in or cut. But this is our bow. So we have the front sides we're looking at, the front sides, and then on the inside here is where our ridge is. So we kind of have the pretty side facing out at all times. Now for the back of your bow, you can either take these and weave them in, or you can be lazy like me and just give them a snip. No one's gonna really see this back, so it's fine. And that is our bow. Now let's talk about how to string multiple bows together to create that garland. All right, so we have the bow we just made. I have another yarn noodle here of 2 rows of half double crochet. The second row is half double crochet in the back loop only. And I'm gonna make this bow very similar way. So I'm looking for the ridge, I'm making sure that's down and in the middle. And then with this left arm here, I'm just gonna snake it through the bow arm or bow loop. And that is really it. From here on, I'm making the bow the exact same way. So we kind of have it with this leg folding over, this leg also folding over. We want to make sure the front is facing here. And then we're gonna pinch and make sure it looks good. and I have my yarn here that I'm gonna cut and tie as well. So let's do that next. All right, so I am pinching here and I have my yarn. I'm gonna snake it under, and then while I hold these in place, I'm gonna also grab onto the tail here, wrap 3 times around. 1, 2, 3. Give it a tug. And I want to make sure it's all looking good. So when I lay this down, I can see the back loops are in the back, loops are in the back, and there we go. I can pull both ends here, and we can flip this over so we're looking at the back of the bow, do a double knot, and give it a snip, or weave in your ends if you're not lazy like me. All right, and these are 2 bows strung together or tied together. Now just keep making bows and keep tying them while interlocking the loops here, and then you should get your bow garland at the end. Hope you enjoyed.